All right. Hello, OEA members. Welcome to the first weekly Top 4 at 4 webinar. Thank you for joining us. I am Amanda Ewing. I'm the Chief Lobbyist for the Oklahoma Education Association. With me here today are Ivy Riggs, who is our Legislative and Political Organizing Specialist for Eastern Oklahoma. Hello. Also, we've got Chanson Flick, the Legislative and Political Organizing Specialist for Western Oklahoma.
Howdy, y'all.
And we have a big thanks right off the bat to Lauren Burkholder, who is OEA's Media Relations and Social Media staff person in communications, who has kind of made all of this possible, set it all up, and is doing her best to get this information out to as many folks as possible. Hello. We are going to do our best every week to keep this as short as possible, preferably less than 10 minutes each week. It might be a bit bumpy today on our first go-round, but hopefully it will be helpful to you. And I just want to let you know right now that after the webinar, we'll talk a lot about legislation in these top 4 topics, but after the webinar, we will send you all an email and we'll release OEA's priority bill list. That's a totally moving target. From week to week, it's going to be different what is on our top priority bill list, so we just kind of did our best to get you a good sampling of what's out there this week, and we will always be willing to give you more information if you want it, but that's going to be emailed out after, so don't worry if you don't catch a bill number or something like that. All right, so in the sake of making the most of your time, we'll get right into it. So let's go to our first issue, which is testing. Ivy, will you tell us about what's going on in testing this week?
Yes. The first thing I want to talk about is something that we are calling our Common Sense Testing Tour. Our President and Vice President of OEA are going to be holding these testing tours all around the state. At this time, there are 19 scheduled around the state, beginning next week and going through the end of March. As a part of these tour stops, we're showing a documentary that we are really excited about. Our communications staff has worked really hard to put together a video titled Stand Up to High Stakes Testing. And we are excited to show our members and non-members, parents, and everyone. We've got has a great group of people participate in this. And so, you know, if you haven't heard about these, please ask your staff person, your OEA staff person, and they can let you know. And if one isn't scheduled in your area, we can make that happen. In regards to legislation for testing, there is a bunch. A lot of it very, very positive for a change. There are several bills that are going to make the team for the 3rd grade retention law that got changed last year. That was just temporary. So there's some legislation to make it permanent. There are some changes being proposed to help with end of instruction tests, everything from doing away with them to changing them to different types of tests, but all pretty positive. Several bills to address our students with special needs and how their testing decisions are made with the IEP team. And then in kind of what we're putting in this testing category, some help with the teacher evaluation. There are several bills out there to take the test scores out of that quantitative portion of the TLE, or the teacher evaluation. So we're really encouraged by the testing legislation.
Okay, then let's move on to topic number 2, which relates to payroll deduction. There are 3 bills right now regarding payroll deduction in the legislature. It will come as no surprise that we don't actually like any of them. And unfortunately, we suffered a loss today. The House Government and Oversight, or the Government Oversight and Accountability Committee, which is run by Representative Newell out of Seminole, heard House Bill 1749, which is a bill authored by Representative Newell from Seminole. They heard it today, and it passed out of that committee. And you know, as an OEA member, I know you know that we see threats to payroll deduction every year, but I will say it's been a long time since one of these bills has actually made it out of committee. So we're very concerned that this is a bigger threat this session than it has been before. And so we're going to need your help on this with no doubt. That vote today in the Government Oversight Committee was split exactly down party lines. It was really unfortunate, but we do have Representative Scott from Tulsa and Representative Tadlock from far southeast Oklahoma to thank for voting against House Bill 1749, and then we have Representatives Newell, Jordan, Hall, Bennett, and Lee Wright that voted for the bill, and we definitely hope that by the time this bill gets to the floor, if it gets a hearing on the floor of the House, that they've come around and will be back on the side of supporting your right to do what you will with your paycheck. These bills don't say that you can't payroll deduct to anyone. You can still payroll deduct to, a variety of sources, probably 40 different ways in the state that you can payroll deduct from your paycheck. It just prohibits your ability to payroll deduct to an employee association of your choice. So it's targeting your association. These are very bad. There are 2 more bills in the Senate authored by Senator Dahm. So we've got a lot to do on this topic, and please stay tuned. And while I know that a lot of times, clearly we have more important issues to deal with in that we want real change in public education, and we want to get to work on those education issues that we all care the most about. But without payroll deduction, it ties our hands in a lot of ways, and so I really hope that we can count on you all to be active this year and contacting your legislators about these bills. And I'll just say thank you. I know that those committee members got a lot of contact before this committee meeting, and we'll just really have to ramp it up before they're heard in the Senate committee or on the House floor. So let's move on to topic number 3. Chanson, tell us about the upcoming PTA Rally.
Can do. As many of you have probably already heard, the Oklahoma Parent-Teachers Association and the Oklahoma Education Coalition will be hosting a rally at the state capitol on March 30th. OEA will be supporting the rally, and we hope to see as many of you there as can attend. Please start contacting your superintendent, your local boards, and anybody in your local community in regards to supporting the rally and attending. We want this to be not just an education-focused rally, but this is an issue that's going to impact all of our local communities. The 2 primary focus points for the rally will be finding a long-term funding solution for public schools that will include a pay increase for our educators and our support professionals, as well as adopting a common-sense testing strategy that will benefit our students, our schools, and our local communities. We're going to be providing more information as it becomes available, so stay in touch with OEA via our social media and our weekly emails, and we'll be providing that information as it becomes available.
All right, thank you, Chanson. Let's move on then to our final topic, which is just to let you know that later this afternoon, as I mentioned, we will be sending out our list of priority bills. That's very much a week-by-week list. So the ones you'll see on there this week are kind of what we agree, LPO staff agrees are the top bills right now, but that's going to change each week. It has good bills and bad bills on there, and I hope that you will use it as a tool to help you talk to your community members, folks at school, members and non-members at OEA, and often, most importantly this time of year, talk to your legislators about them. Ask them where they stand on these bills. Let us know what you hear about where they stand on these bills. We will always welcome, we do always welcome communication from members, letting us know what they're hearing from legislators, letting us know what their legislators need to know in order to sway their votes. I hope that there's a lot of give and take between your OEA staff and our OEA members. Let's work together to see some real positive changes this year. So expect that list to be coming out soon. And everybody, is there anything I've forgotten about that we need to throw in here at the end?
I think we're good.
All right. Thank you again for joining us this week, and please join us again next week and throughout session, where we'll do our best to give you a very quick rundown of the most important topics in session to keep you informed throughout the week. You guys, thanks for all you do, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, everybody.